for considering me for this scholarship. The Ani Group and everyone else who made this possible, I'm truly grateful and thank you. And I'm also thankful for my family as well.
Good evening, Chicago. Good evening, Chicago. I am Jermaine Lawrence Anderson, the Executive Director for I Am a Gentleman Incorporated. And I am honored to receive this award tonight, first giving honor to God, who is the head of my life. This award is given in my name, but tonight I am accepting this award on behalf of all of the amazing and the brilliant black and brown boys in Chicago. I am not here alone on tonight. I'm going to ask the young men who joined me from I Am a Gentleman if you would run up here real quick. Can you guys celebrate these amazing young men? Since 2016, our program at I Am a Gentleman has impacted the lives of more than 10,000 black and brown youth here in Chicago, Las Vegas, Nevada, and the Atlanta, Georgia area. Tonight you see stars on my lapel, and these stars are not just stars for fashion's sake, but these stars represent those in our organization who have fallen to senseless gun violence or to death. And tonight we want to make sure that we also celebrate them. We believe in the power and in the lives of our black and brown boys in Chicago. They are some of the most brilliant and creative individuals that have been created. I sit on the board down at NBC5, and one of the things that I always tell them in our board meetings is, it's time out to only portray a negative narrative about black and brown boys. This is the picture of black and brown boys in the city of Chicago. We don't do this work alone in I Am a Gentleman. We have so many partners, sponsors, and supporters who make it possible for us. Can you guys celebrate the Boeing Corporation who's with us on tonight? Celebrate the National Association of Letter Carriers who's with us on tonight. If you are not connected to a movement that is mentoring youth, if you are not connected to a movement that is giving back to youth, make sure that you connect. Thank you so much to the Ani Group. Thank you to Maze Jackson, to our other friend, and this is Jermaine Anderson, and I Am a Gentleman.
I started the block because I realized I've been lied to about Chicago. I moved and started working on the west side of Chicago, and I've always been told that young people out there wanted to be in the streets and they had whatever was coming to them. But I got there and I recognized that these people are beautiful, they're talented, they want all the same things for their lives that I want for my own life. But they don't always have the resources and opportunities to reach that. There's one or two things that you can think if you recognize the difference between a young person growing up in North Lawndale and a young person growing up in Gold Coast. Either this kid in North Lawndale is less talented, less driven, less intelligent, less worthy than that kid in Gold Coast, or something profoundly unfair is happening. And once you decide that something profoundly unfair is happening, you have a responsibility to do something about that. My team and I, we want to find those young people who are looking for a fight, use the sport of boxing to engage them. Once they're engaged, we provide resources and opportunities that all kids deserve, but kids on the west side of Chicago are often excluded from. So academic support, critical needs support, all the things that all of us need. And through that, we have a 99% high school graduation rate. A 99% college acceptance rate. An average GPA of 3.1. And not a single person in our program has ever been arrested for a violent crime while engaged with us. What we know is that when we invest in Chicago's youth, they pay us back with their success. I am grateful that I have an opportunity to do something. I'm grateful that I've been empowered with the resources and support to make a difference in our community. I'm grateful for the team that I work with, grateful for Alderman Burnett and Alderman Burnett. Your support and advocacy means so much to me because I know how much you love Chicago. Can't thank you enough. Thank you.
Thank you for hosting. Thank you for this event. Thank you for the recognition. Community building is not easy. I will say that this recognition feels great, but I think what feels greater is who I'm being recognized by. So to be recognized by those greats in our community, Nikki Hayes and Juan Teague, Neil, I don't see you anymore, but to Neil, who has done community work, Maze, just in general, to be able to be seen by people that I look up to means everything. And I think for me, that's what legacy means. I don't do projects and without you seeing at least 20 to 30 young black and brown men behind me who are between the ages of 12 to 15 to 20, because everything that I do, I want them to know that they are fearless, powerful, and they can do the same thing. I spent the first part of my career developing for some of the most affluent people in the country, being able to develop hospitality, being able to build hotels, resorts, golf courses, and I noticed that there were certain things that looked very different from the communities where I was from in Chicago. I was gone for 15 years. I enjoyed every moment of designing these beautiful spaces, seeing the way that people could move through their communities with ease, understanding what amenities like green space, like stoplights that worked, like crosswalks and bike lanes and all of those things meant to the way the quality of life was, and what that meant as a result, and what that meant from a longevity of life, as well as from a quality of life on a daily basis and the trajectory of where people would go. So I came back to Chicago, to the south and west sides, to bring that same level of development to the south and west sides of Chicago. We now are almost at $40 million in grants won for small businesses and small developments across the south and west sides of Chicago for minority developers. And I'm just getting started. I am currently about to be done with one more semester at Harvard for real estate development. I want to know all the things, y'all. I have walked the walk. I want to be able to talk the talk and come back and bring all of this knowledge to our community so we can continue to develop and grow. We are a rapidly developing communities on the south and west sides, and we have to understand what the power of equity means in those communities. But not only do we need to understand this room, anybody above the age of 10 needs to understand those same things and understand that all of this world is their oyster. So I will continue to develop. I will continue to teach. I will continue to mentor. But most importantly, I will continue to serve you at Brownsville Winery. So make sure you come to Brownsville Winery. We're on 44th and Cottage Grove. We've been open a little over 3 years. We have had 3 of our senior leadership team all go to open on their own restaurants. So make sure you go to NAFSI and South Shore Cultural Center. Make sure you go to Mahari over in Hyde Park. And then also we opened the South Side Sanctuary, a green space, a little over a year ago. And with that project, we were able to prove to the Department of Planning and the Mayor's Office, with all of their support, that if you gave us in our community 13,000 square feet of space that had been vacant for decades, that if we were able to turn that into green space that was powered by and programmed by the incredible nonprofit communities that were inside the community already, that we would make the community a better space. And I've got data now. In just a year, we have decreased reported crimes within 1,000 feet of that space by 30%. We have increased our local businesses when we activate the space by 25%. You could ask Cliff Rome from Peaches across the street. But in general, we need to activate our empty spaces. And so please take that power.
Tell Black stories in this multifaceted way, just because that wasn't the narrative of the West Side of Chicago, and that wasn't what I was seeing, talked about in the mainstream media about the West Side of Chicago. So it's an honor for me to be in this position to be able to tell Black Chicago stories, and it's also an honor for me to be in this moment where we're under attack by an administration dead set on, erasing a lot of the work and labor that our ancestors have achieved for us, in this journey for liberation. And so, for me, the Tribe is a Black-owned and independent journalism outlet, and we're doing work to document and to amplify the stories of people who are continuing to fight for Black liberation. And we couldn't do this work without you. Every person who has read our stories, every person who has amplified our work, we thank you so, so much. And we hope that you all will continue to read our work and support us.
Yeah.
I was my only employee the first 3 years.
the first kid I hired, he was a little 12-year-old Michael. Michael Bowman's dad owned a fish market across the street from George's. He wouldn't go to school and what have you. I talked to his dad. He wanted to work at George's. I said, your ass go to school. You work at me, and his father agreed. Michael became my first employee, and that was the beginning of my training of young people to learn a work ethic. And this is what we need to put our heads together, y'all. Because we can talk all damn day long, but if our children don't know how to work, okay, there's a principle about that. Oh, they just won't give me no job. Well, your ass don't know how to work. And see, we get the desire to learn how to work from watching our parents get up every damn day. When I first started George's, the bus stop would be full of kids going to school and people going to work. And it's not our fault because the jobs are gone.
Yeah.
You know, so where do kids learn? Now with this new technology and all of this, it's a difficult journey, but we got to figure this shit out. And the best way to do that, let's revisit our history. Let's rebuild 47th Street. Let's rebuild Madison, 43rd Street, 55th Street, 51st Street, Edna's Restaurant on the west side, Izola's on something like that. I mean, there were so many businesses. The only way your ass didn't have a job, you just didn't want to work. And that's what we have to reestablish in our neighborhoods. That's part of my history. I've been part of so many lives. I started George's, December 12, 1969. All right? That was a long time ago. And I just turned 79. And my greatest asset is my health. Okay? Mary Thatcher, look. Hey, y'all don't know Mary, all right? When Mary came to work for me, that's when we organized black stores all across America. I became the renegade for black retail because 50 years of hip hop never would have happened if it wasn't for the neighborhood stores, okay? All over America. And we organized them right here from Chicago, okay? I don't care if you're from LA, Houston, Texas, Philadelphia, we had you all hooked up. That's how hip hop became international, because they were all independent labels and the majors didn't care. But then when they saw the sales, where did the sales come from? Black stores. See, so let's rebuild our communities. Let's go back to creating things and jobs for our kids. At my peak, I had 15 full-time employees at George's Music Group, and they all walked to work. All right? Let's go back and let's reinvent ourselves. But thank you so much, Mace. All right? Good night, y'all. Thank you.